Well, well. We had a feeling that there would be some sort of stream today. Kind of thought it was going to be for Duran, Joe, but you called me and said, "Hey, they acquired Caleb Ferguson." So that's cool, I guess. I mean, hey, the Mariners added to the bullpen. In the end, like they're probably going to add another piece, if I had to guess. And I think that piece will be bigger. So I'm not too upset with this trade right now.
Yeah, this is a guy. I feel like I was talking about him either last year or the year before, where
Mm.
I would have liked adding him to the bullpen. It's a lefty, obviously. It's part of the reason probably why they went and got him, in my opinion. Just adding another guy with Gabe Spire since they traded Brandon Garcia. There's not another lefty that's out there that's really within striking distance for the Mariners, in my opinion. But also, like, if the Twins, they're looking more at Duran or Jax, maybe Kalum was not someone that they felt that they wanted to go do or go out and acquire. Ferguson is a name that, like you kind of expected during the podcast that we recorded, that it's a name that no one really has mentioned up until this point. It was just kind of out of left field that Caleb Ferguson is now a Seattle Mariner, which, I mean, on the season, a 1.14 ERA plus in 45 games, a 3.74 ERA in 43 and a third innings pitched, 34 strikeouts. Like, he's got 7.1 strikeouts per nine, giving up 0.2 homers per night. Like, he doesn't give up a lot of homers. Whoa, Mikey. Whoa.
Mike with the $20 says, "I'm calling it now. Diamondbacks full tonight, and we trade for Suarez tomorrow. Either that or we get Helsley and Castro." Hey, look at that. Did you see the new
I did see it.
That's the first time we've gotten a $20 donation. Yeah, so I agree with that, Mike. I think they're going to have to fold on Suarez because otherwise they're just not going to end up trading him. And so I think that the asking price is going to come down at some point relatively soon. I really, really do. Mike, appreciate that $20. I would be okay if the Mariners went out and got Helsley after this as well. Go get another reliever that is on an expiring contract, similar to Ferguson. Ferguson's on an expiring contract, $3 million, what he was making this year. So you probably owe him like one. And yeah, I think that getting Helsley would be just fine.
I will say, someone saying they could have gotten Kalum or Max. I don't necessarily disagree. I just think of the asking price where you're trading Jeter Martinez, who is within like the 15 through 20 range in like Mariners prospect lore.
Where did you have him in
my,
your newest rankings that you just redid?
My re-rank. So right now he's 13th. Right now, Jeter Martinez. So I mean, it's Modesto. He hasn't done super well down in Modesto. A 6.18 ERA across the season. I do think it started off really rough and has gotten better. But I did have him falling, not a ton, but a fair amount compared to where he was before. Because I like Jeter Martinez. I've been high on him since we signed him in the international like free, like not free agent, but pool, like the prospect pool. I had him 20th.
Okay, so I had him 23rd.
So falling from 13th to 20th, he is a 45 grade overall prospect, if that means anything to anybody. You gave up one guy for a pitcher who, yeah, he's only going to be here for 3 months, 4 months for Caleb Ferguson, but it's someone that this is a fine trade to make. You want to read Taco's message?
Yeah, ready? Here we go. Taco with the $1 donation said,
"Thanks, Taco.
Appreciate that, Taco."
Yeah, trading Jeter Martinez is fine here. It's a lefty that you add to the pen. That is he the leverage arm that they're going to go get? No. So they still need to add another arm, and I think that's the general sentiment around this move, is that this should be the JT Chargois arm that you acquire. There's still room for improvement. I have his splits pulled up this year for lefty versus righty. So against left-handed batters against him, I guess, is a better way to phrase it. They're batting 167 with a 257 on base, a 182 slug. So he does not give up damage to left-handed batters ever. He's only given up one home run this year, and it was against.
Can I add some context to that?
Sure.
Caleb Ferguson is in the 100th percentile in both hard hit percentage and average exit velocity.
Yeah, someone
he gives up
right when we got on.
He gives up the least amount of hard contact in the league which is something that adding that to this pen makes a lot of sense in my opinion.
Yeah, it's limiting hard contact is always something that you want to do. Yeah, it was Muncher, 100th percentile on the hard hit rate. W. Jake, I'm ready to get Ferguson. Turd. Ferguson. Jake, appreciate the $2 there, my man. Is he any good? Never heard of him? Yes, he's
good.
Hit against right-handed batters, it's not as good as against lefties as you could imagine, but right-handed batters are hitting 250, 327 with a 364 slug, a 690 OPS. So that's a fine batter. That's a fine line, I think. You're not going to have him face a ton of righties similar to Gabe Spire, but I like Caleb Ferguson getting added into the Mariners bullpen. His best year was with the Dodgers after coming off of injury in 2021. In 2022, in 37 games, he had a 2.23 ERA plus. Ever since then, it's been pretty consistent. 2024 was his worst year, where he had an 88 ERA plus. He was with the Yankees for the first half of the year and then was with the Astros in the second half of last year after the deadline. But yeah, a 1.14 ERA plus so far this year with the Pirates. It's a move that I think this is not necessarily as high of a secondary arm I maybe would have wanted them to get, but I'm not upset by this move by any means.
No, I think it's a pretty good ad by the Mariners. He's gonna slot in probably before Gabe Spire in that bullpen, if I had to guess in terms, so it would probably go as of right now, Munoz, Brash, maybe Bizzardo, Spire, and Ferguson. He's kind of in that same vein as, I would say, as Spire and as Bizzardo. And that's something the Mariners needed to add. They needed to add stability back there, more guys that you can rely on. As for what the move will be, I'm not sure. It could be something as simple as sending down. It's Casey Legumina could be set down, right? He has an option.
Let me check real quick. I think so. I mean, yeah, he's been up and down a fair amount this year.
Yeah, so he'll be back. He'll probably be the move, I would guess, but it could end up being Trent Thornton at some point as well. Jeter Martinez is obviously young. He's a guy that has really high upside, but like Joe mentioned, has struggled this year. Caleb Ferguson is 28 years old. He's a free agent at the end of the year. The Mariners could re-sign him. I don't know, and frankly, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is the move that I think the Mariners needed to make.
The stuff on Jeter Martinez, he's 19. He still has room to develop into. This is a lottery ticket type acquisition for the Pirates that I'm not surprised that it costs this type of prospect to get a quality reliever in the market, specifically given the context of the Mets trade for Tyler Rogers. I think the overpay on it is being slightly blown out of proportion, but in the same vein, I do think that they did overpay, but they got the guy that they wanted, it seems like, but for the Mets with Tyler Rogers specifically.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I think that the saying that was an overpay, I don't agree with that. I kind of it was a lot of guys, but if you were to compare that to the Mariners, you're trading their 14 and 16 and Carlos Vargas. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'd be completely fine with that.
I just think Drew Gilbert has a bit of name power because he was the piece that went back to the Mets for Justin Verlander. So there's a little bit of name power, I think, there for Gilbert specifically. I think he was their 12th ranked prospect in the system at that point. So yeah, an overpay is you just see 3 for 1 for 3 months of a reliever who will probably throw 20 to 25 innings. And if they make the postseason, yes, that's a big deal. But I think that's where a lot of the overpay conversation stems from. Mike with a $2. Are the Pirates selling? Who else can we get there? Of course the Pirates are selling. They're selling. They traded Cabrian Hayes earlier. I don't think there's really anyone else off the top of my head that is super intriguing aside from
Dennis Santana.
Bednar.
Right.
Is another reliever that is similar to Helsley or whatever. Yeah, I guess Dennis Santana is another reliever out there, but I don't know. Tommy Pham?
Hell no.
Bring that one back.
I hate Tommy Pham. No. Yeah, I think Dennis Santana and Bednar are the two guys that make some sense there for the Mariners. Otherwise, offensive pieces, there's really nobody there. from the Pirates that I'd be interested in. Even Brian Hayes, I was not interested in. He's just worse Ben Williamson.
What about Andrew McCutchen?
I don't think they're gonna trade McCutchen. That'd be really shitty if they did.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he went back to retire there. But Mitchell with the 5 gifted to Critter, to Walero, to Eli, to William, and to Kyle. Mitch.
Shout
Big
out Mitch.
smooches, bro. Big smooches, Mitch.
Mitch,
they made a move.
That's crazy.
They made a move. Wow. That's crazy. You weren't already subscribed, Mitch.
That's
insane.
crazy. I'm gonna Snapchat him right now.
Yeah. Am I catching a Mariner Mojo stream live now? Woo! Heck yeah, Austin. We are live and live.
Live, laugh,
yeah, I don't know. People are a little worried about giving up Jeter Martinez. And I mean, there have been guys in the past, the Mariners have given up in trades like this. Obviously, I think the 2 biggest ones right now are like Pablo Lopez, who the Mariners gave up in was that the D Gordon trade? No, it was a reliever of David Phelps, I think. And Freddie Peralta, who they gave up in the Adam Lynn trade. But those are guys that were going to be, years and years away, and that's a move you make when you're going for it. It's just the kind of move you have to make. Even guys like JP Sears is someone who the Mariners have traded in the past. Like, you have to make moves like this if you're trying to win. $2 from David. David said, appreciate that $2, David.
Always, yeah, I don't know. Always much love there, David. People being upset about trading Jeter Martinez, I don't know. I like Jeter Martinez. Like
me too.
I was a big fan. But that's just what it takes. Like, I don't know, if I'm looking around the rest of the system there in that area, like Brockmore's been hurt and not been good, as much to your praise, I guess, or your happiness. Like, you're not going to trade Teddy McGraw because I think he's a bit closer and there's a bit more stuff to like unpack there. It's not as much of a lottery ticket where like the variety of outcomes that could happen with Jeter Martinez. Whereas like Teddy McGraw, there's probably like more finite opportunities. The rest of them in that area, Kendry Martinez, like same class as Yorker Bautista last year. Josh Caron, I don't like. It just depends on what the Pirates want, and apparently they want pitching, and Jeter Martinez is a fine prospect that they're getting. And I think Caleb Ferguson's a welcome addition to the Mariners bullpen.
Yeah. Kickter brings up a really good point. Jeter's going to be really good, but he's a long way away, and you can draft and sign another arm like him. And frankly, the Mariners already did.
Yeah.
They drafted guys like that this year. Like, you drafted Cade Anderson. I'm not worried too much about losing Jeter Martinez.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like him, but how many more Jeter Martinez's might already be in your system? Like, no, much different pitchers, but both in Modesto and both really young, though. Like, Walter Ford having a better year this year than he was last year, and is like kind of like resurging a little bit. Much different pitchers in terms of like velocity and the way that they get outs, but I don't know. If we're crying over Jeter Martinez, I am worried about what the rest of everything might cost. Like,
yeah,
there's one pitcher in the system that I think is worth crying over right now that's not on the major league team, and it's Ryan Sloan. And I think that there's good reason to not want to trade him. And if the only team that's interested in Sloan, not the only team, but like the only package that is making sense is, I hope you probably can hear the chickens crowing. You can hear the rooster crowing. Like for Gino, yeah, I'm not trading Ryan Sloan for Gino. And with the Mason Miller rumor about Andrew Painter, like,
yeah,
how is that going to affect the Duran and Jax conversations if those do continue? I mean, if Sloan goes in one of those, like, it's interesting how that's all developing. I don't know if that takes them away from it and they go with Ferguson and then someone else, but maybe just not as high profile and with much control like Jackson Duran. Like, I don't think Helsley's going to cost Ryan Sloan. It's not going to cost as much as Duran. I almost said Durax. Whoa. We're combining the two of them.
I'm screaming, Joe, turn me down, dude.
I have already turned you down.
Mikey said, in my opinion, trade whoever you need to get to the World Series now. I mean, yeah, I think if you can guarantee you're going to get to a World Series, then sure, trade whoever. Unfortunately, you just can't guarantee it, no matter what moves you make. I mean, once you get to the playoffs, it's a whole different beast. So, but I know that like someone was talking about who was it? Was it Jay? It might have been Jage or Ben or someone said that like Jerry DePoto's holding a lighter and
Oh yeah, Jage for it was
Colt Emerson.
Colt Emerson, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, if Colt Emerson had to go in that trade for Joan Duran, I'm out.
Speak up. I literally am like talking pretty loud. How about that? Just start peeking into the mic. It'll be great. Streaming until
tomorrow. We are actually just
live
about
for 24 hours.
Yeah, we're just about 24 hours away from the deadline. So, no, we will be streaming again tomorrow at 9 a.m. from right here, just like last year. Are you going to shave your beard again?
No. People saying that netted us Randy. We had already had Randy.
Yeah, we already had Randy.
Yeah. All right. That's much better. Fine. We're up here, boys. We're shouting. That's crazy that this is where we want it at.
Are we going to get Chipotle again?
We can. I'll eat a burrito in 5 bites again. Where do you think Caleb Ferguson slides into the bullpen? Like where is your ranking at?
I put him in between Bizzardo and Spire, maybe, or maybe right before Spire. He's ahead of Legumina. He's ahead of if Juan Burgos is back. He's ahead of, Carlos Vargas and guys like that. Ahead of all those guys, in my opinion.
Okay. So like Munoz, Brash, Spire, then Ferguson? Okay. I think that's fine. Him being around like ahead of Bizzardo, I think that still leaves them plenty of room to go get another guy to push him out of the top 4, which is the idea that I think all of us are still in support of. You do have Kowar. I don't know like what to make of him, like where they view him as far as like where they want to throw him, like a swingman type situation, but I would fully expect that this bullpen does not feature Trent Thornton by tomorrow, in my opinion. Or like by the end of the day tomorrow.
Right.
He needs to be gone.
Yeah. That's the move that I think is going to be made for sure. Especially if they can add another reliever, which I still think they should, and I honestly think they will. I'll be surprised if they don't end up with a high leverage reliever from this deadline. I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes to the other guys, so Trent Thornton should be gone. The other guys in the bullpen, I honestly don't care who either gets sent down or DFA'd for the most part. They're all just kind of inconsequential pieces to me. I think Kowar can maybe go down. I think Legumina can go down.
Yeah.
I think Vargas has some options. Like there's guys.
No options for Vargas. It's just Kowar, Legumina, and Brash.
Oh, okay.
with options remaining, but I mean Hunter Cranton back throwing with Everett.
Yeah.
Will the prophecy come true? I said Helsley at the deadline. I did say Brandon Garcia in there at some point. So that's gone. But Hunter Cranton's still a possibility for September call-up, maybe? I don't know how that would work. Add him to the bullpen for the postseason.
I'm in.
Do you want to talk about Tyler Locklear?
Yeah, let's talk about the Locklear move. So when I was streaming last night, and even when it first got announced that he was coming up, I honestly thought he was traded. Yeah. I really did. I thought he was traded when he got pulled out of the game. When it was announced that he was getting called up, I was like, okay, like, is this finally the end of Donovan Solano or Dylan Moore? And then I thought about it. I'm like, man, we really haven't seen Luke Raley. And as it turns out, back stiffness for Raley landed him on the IL again after, dealing with the oblique earlier this year. I think that Locklear is going to see some playing time. He deserves to. I just don't necessarily know how they're going to get him at bats. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be DHing? Is he going to get the left-handed or the right-handed at bats that Jorge Polanco would get, that Mitch Garver's now not going to get? It's just a very weird spot to be in, where the team now kind of has a log jam in like the first base DH area. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't hate him coming up. I will say it does not remove him from trade conversations for me, because like Brandon Garcia. The same thing happened to Brandon Garcia, where he got called up for 2 days and then got traded. That still is a possibility going into tomorrow, in my opinion. But I don't. The fit is a little clunky, just with given where they want at bats to go. Naylor's not sitting against a lefty, I don't think, unless it's like the toughest lefty. But then you're just sending Locklear out to pasture. It feels like with that, but I don't know. Like the at bats that he's going to get. I know the idea behind calling him or Harry Ford or when we called up Cole Young is like they better play. Okay, where are you going to find at bats for them? I don't think moving Naylor into a corner outfield spot or Locklear to third base. I don't think that those are options that the team would like to pursue. Mm-hmm. If the MLB The Show, little Diamond Dynasty, throwing Naylor out there in right field, secondary position, take 10 off the fielding, that's fine. You could probably survive. I don't know if you could do that in an actual game. And I don't know if I want to see it personally.
Yeah.
So
Locklear with 3 home runs tonight and then traded tomorrow. Okay, I'm in.
Got to boot that. It's Locklear for Duran straight up if he hits 3 home runs tonight. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how that has to work.
So a Duran trade, if we're being realistic, what do you think it would be?
I'm scared that it's entering Lazaro territory.
I am too.
Yeah. I think,
and if that's the case, I say no.
Yeah.
Just go get Helsley at that point.
I think if the price is really that high, going out and getting a rental reliever is more than okay with me. And there are good rental relievers available on the market, like you said, Helsley. Last year the Mariners made 2 trades with the Blue Jays during the deadline. Could the Mariners make 2 trades with the Pirates and go get David Bednar? Maybe. I'd rather have Helsley, but that's sometimes beggars can't be choosers. But if it's entering Lazaro territory, I would likely not want to do it. He is like hitting a small slump in Arkansas where, it was bound to happen. He's not going to be good forever, like all the time, every single at bat. Same thing. I mean, Michael Arroyo he's still like hitting decently, but it's not in his batting average has dipped below 300. They're both kind of cooling down. So maybe like a little honeymoon phase is done there. I would, again, whether or not the fit makes sense. I know the Harry Ford conversation about sending catching to Minnesota gets a little muddy with Jeffers, whatever ends up happening there. I would go anyone, again, it's just the untouchables. I don't want to trade Colt Emerson for like Duran. I don't want to trade Lazaro, and I don't want to trade Ryan Sloan. Everyone else is fair game, in my opinion. But if that's where that's at, and say you could get, and it's a conversation that we've had a ton of, if Duran costs one of those 3, but Jax doesn't, you just go get Griffin Jackson instead.
Right. Well, he was terrible today.
Well, I mean, Andres Munoz has had an outing like that against the Twins.
That's true. So, I was there. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, just in case anyone wanted a friendly reminder about that one.
Will Harry Ford ever see an at-bat with the Mariners? I don't think so. No. I think he's gone tomorrow.
8 years from now when he hits free agency.
8 years from now when he's a Mariners legend and there's a statue outside of T-Mobile Park because he hit the game-winning home run in the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I think that Harry Ford in a Duran trade would go. I really do. I honestly think that Locklear would be a part of that as well.
The major league ask, or like close to like major league adjacent of prospect ask for them, I think makes sense. And you can still throw in guys like a Jeter Martinez that are further away that allow them to stagger the development in their farm system. Like that's, I think, a pretty reasonable assumption about what trade packages might look like there.
When I look at the Mariners' top 10, like you mentioned, Colt Emerson, Laz, Ryan Sloan. The rest, I don't care.
Yeah, I know Dorian's high on Gerangelo and Fellman. Would I prefer to keep them if it's, whatever, sure. But I'm not going to lose as much sleep, I think, as I would trading the other 3. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't
Let's
know.
talk about Stephen Quan.
I saw that. Who said it? Who said it?
Who done it?
Someone said it.
Only way that the Mariners trade Harry Ford is to Cleveland for Quan or J Ram. Jose Ramirez isn't getting traded.
Okay, there it is. Yeah.
It's not happening. But Stephen Quan apparently is the guy they're looking to move. Obviously does not strike out a lot. I don't think there's a fit for him in the Mariners outfield. Obviously, Canzone's been good. Julio's out there. Randy's out there. I just don't think that there's a spot for Stephen Quan on this roster.
What?
But at the same time, well, like where are you going to put him?
Canzone, I'll pack his bag. I don't care. Give me Quan over Canzone every day of the week.
Canzone's been so good.
He's been fine. I'm taking Quan over Canzone. I'm taking Quan over Canzone. Like, I will trade Canzone to Cleveland for Stephen Quan. Like,
I mean, if that was the case, then sure.
Well, yeah, like that's where the package kind of, if they want a replacement outfielder right now, I think that's part of it. But I would much rather have Stephen Quan. I get that they don't fill similar roles. Quan is your contact. He's gonna slide into the leadoff spot. The JP deniers, since he's been bad for his last whatever, those tweets, gives him a break. Maybe go back down lower in the lineup, or Quan can hit lower in the lineup. I don't care. Quan is, I think, 3 times the player that Canzone can be every single year. Quan zone, I like that, George.
You think of 1/3? You're saying that Dominic Canzone is only a 40 OPS plus guy?
We're only talking offense. We're only talking offense.
Listen, defense is great and all.
Okay, so you want to defend Julio for a sec or nah?
What do you mean?
Talking about offense and talking about defensive, like the point of Stephen Quan and where his value can come from. Speed and defense plays a part. Julio plays a part in that too.
Right, but when we're adding a player, I mean, don't get me wrong, Quan's fine. Like, he's hitting 286, 351, 410 with a 761 OPS. That's great. I don't know. I think I like the idea of having Dominic Canzone's power in the lineup.
Quan or Julio Rodriguez offensively? Who do you want?
Julio.
Oh, so the 113 WRC plus to the 114 WRC plus?
That's right. Who has more potential?
I'm just saying, not saying Quan does not have a spot on this roster when you were giving everyday at bats right now to Dominic Canzone, who, yes, he has played his way into that. Awesome. Give me Stephen Quan.
I agree with Duran. I'd rather spend the resources patching third base.
Well, that's not the conversation we're having.
Like, do I want Stephen Quan with the 113 OPS plus, or do I want Dominic Canzone with the 138 OPS plus? Who do I want?
How many at bats?
I want Dominic Canzone. He has 133 at bats.
With the death beam pointed at Earth, I want Iguodala.
Let's see. Where's the compare tool here?
I get. So in the conversation, in the realm of the resources you spend to get Quan would then be depleted, so you cannot get another reliever. Yes. Get a reliever over getting Quan. The conversation in my head is not that. It is, we're looking at Quan as like where he could fit into the team and saying that Canzone is, I think, ooh, man. Accent would rip you a new one for that take. He hates Canzone.
Accent hates everyone.
That's fair. Make a poll, Quan versus Canzone. I don't want to see Colton's ego get shattered like that.
Quan acquisition means we have less people on base, where we leave less people on base. That is that is a fair point. Probably. That's probably true.
I think if you can get Quan and a reliever, sure. Or it's the Quan and Shane Bieber conversation, where you then trade someone out of your rotation, namely Logan Evans or Emerson Hancock for a reliever, maybe. But
Lake Storm, the deadline's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. It's not today.
Yeah, we'll be live all day tomorrow.
If the Mariners are done, what grade do they get? A C, says Mikey. I mean, compared to the rest of the league right now, an A, in my opinion.
I'd give them Yeah, I guess rest of the league is a like if the deadline did end in 10 minutes.
Yeah, if we're grading on a scale, they get an A.
Sure. I think it's probably closer. I'd probably give it like a B plus because there's definitely movement that can happen with the relievers. It's just they're not going for it in that scenario, but they do have a whole other day to figure it out. But if this ends and say like this is the last move that they make and a bunch of other players get moved or whatever, like say Ferguson's the second best player they acquire and then they get a third player that's like not as good, whatever. Say like they get Harrison Bader for whatever silly reason. I'd give them like a C plus because of the expectation and like what the needs that they had to fill. It's still a potential that they got the best bat at the deadline with Josh Naylor, but when there's other things that you need to fill, it kind of changes that aspect.
Yeah, I agree with that. According, and as a lot of people are mentioning in chat, Adam Jude did tweet the Mariners are still in on Duran, and they're still in on a bunch of fronts, not just like the reliever front. So obviously Gino is probably still being talked about. I'm sure Willie Castro is still being talked about. Like, I'm sure that everything that we've heard so far, everybody is still on the table.
Yeah.
If I had to guess for the Mariners, because all of the trades they've made, none of them, in my opinion, take the Mariners out of the running for any of those guys, just based on the packages they've given up.
I mean, you've traded you haven't traded anybody inside the top 10 as far as prospects are concerned right now. When Garcia was traded, he was what, 12th?
Yes.
Izzy was like 16 or 17, and then Martinez in the system was 13th or 14th. And then, but that's pipeline. Baseball America, I don't know where they had him, if they had him lower. We just stick to pipeline because it's the most accessible, but there's definitely other outlets that maybe could be more useful in scenarios. Like I'm not going to sit here and say that pipeline is the end all be all because it most definitely is not. There are plenty of other prospect like sources or lists or whatever you'd like to call them that are very valuable tools to know and understand. But as of right now, the deadline, you've got an everyday first baseman and a middle innings reliever to stretch out your bullpen even further, who's been 100th percentile in like hard hit like whatever, and you haven't given up a top 10, yeah, you take it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm interested to kind of see what's going to happen the rest of the way. I feel like there will be another trade at some point today. I do.
just boot it up again.
Yeah, we'll just boot the stream back up. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're down, I'm down. I'll stream no matter what. And if you're free, we'll make it happen.
I'm down.
But we'll probably call the stream there, Jack. I think we've talked about everything that we need to talk about. So
I do want to mention Ferguson's pitch mix as the
four pitch mix
from the left side. Uses them like pretty like the fastball is the one that he uses the most, 35% of the time. And then his cutter uses 22%, sinker 21%, and then the slurve at basically 21% as well. Two best pitches are sinker and slurve, both with a 4-run or sinker with a 4-run value, the slurve with a 3-run value, cutter with a 1-run value, and then forcing fastballs neutral at 0. Batters are hitting 264 against the fastball, 205 against the cutter, 207 against the sinker, and 152 against the slurve. So I think that there's the 4-pitch mix adds a lot of depth, I think, to the arsenal with coming out of the pen as well. Whereas sometimes bullpens are pretty fastball, sinker, fastball, slider, sinker, slider. Whereas there's a 4-pitch mix coming at you. Sure, they might have similar shapes on a couple of them, like fastball, cutter, sinker, relatively similar-ish. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interest. I like that wrinkle, I think, added to the bullpen.
Yeah, I think it's a great addition. I really do. And for the cause, I'm completely fine with it. I think that he's a guy that you can rely on. You're not going to throw him in there, bases loaded with 1 out and like hope that he's going to be the guy to get you. They're going to do that. That's going to be his first appearance for the Mariners. Not that I said that, but he's not that kind of guy. But he's a guy that you throw out there in the 7th to start the inning, and he's probably going to get you through that inning without giving up any damage. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. What's his velo?
94 fastball velo.
So he doesn't throw hard, but he limits contact.
Yeah.
So a hard contact.
Mm-hmm.
But
do you think he reports Friday?
Yeah, I would assume that he's not here by tomorrow because where were they at?
They're in San Francisco right now.
Oh.
So maybe he catches a quick little flight out of SFO to a little airport in Sac, joins the team there, or maybe he just flies straight to Texas. But
I would assume he just flies straight to Texas.
Yeah.
Nah, because that would be
a lot of
tonight.
traveling. Yeah.
If he somehow got here tonight, and they already played today, didn't they?
Their game is in the 8th inning.
Oh, so
I tell you, catch a bus to Sac from SF. He might be pitching in the 8th inning. Who knows?
I'm in.
I'm just kidding. He won't do that, but
yeah, I think he'll be here. I think he'll be there tomorrow in Texas.
Yeah.
So, cool chat. Well, yeah, I think that if something else happens, we'll go live again. Fingers crossed something else does happen. This is a fun one. Thanks everybody for being here on such short notice. Friendly reminder, we'll be live 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow, covering the entirety of
we're at home versus Texas.
Right.
Right.
That man. Yeah.
Sorry. I just threw you off there.
We'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure you're there for us covering the trade deadline. But nonetheless, if another move gets made today, we'll be live for that too. But appreciate you guys. Big old smooches to you. And we will see you later.
Okay, bye. Don't make fun of the end screen when it pops up.